Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Kearns reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with them, yeah. So this video is going to be about there are no hybrid human beings, there's no hybrid vaginas, and there's no hybrid penises. Now you might be like, what are you talking about? Hybrid vaginas and hybrid penises and hybrid adults or hybrid human beings? I'm saying there is no mixture between child and adult human beings. Now, I know some people look young. I even look young. But I'm either a child or I'm an adult. I know there are people that you look at in your community that have boyish looks forever. However, they're either adults or children. I know some women have girly qualities forever. They have girly features forever. But they are either children or adults. This is why I call this video, there is no hybrid human beings. There is no hybrid vaginas. There is no hybrid penises. There are no hybrid physiques. There's no hybrid bodies. You are either a child or an adult. There's not a hybrid of two. I know there are many people out here that are, man-childs and girl women. Okay? We know that. I think the secret societies, many of them are man-childs and girl women. And you can sit and play games and game stalk in the world. Yeah, you must be a man-child. You must be a girl woman. But I'm applying this. You'll say, all right, what you getting at, man? What you getting at? Cut to the chase. What you getting at? What I'm getting at is, in the age of consent in America is under 18 in 40 states. The age of consent is under 18 years old in 40 states out of 50 states in America. So 40 states allows adults to have sex with people under the age of 18, people under the age of adulthood. So how do they justify it? When you got people running after R. Kelly, been running after R. Kelly for a million years. They finally got him. So how do they justify when they run after Bill Cosby and they ran after Michael Jackson? How do they justify when they trying to lock all these so-called pedophiles up? How do they justify having 40 states with the age for sex under 18? How do you live with yourself when you're locking up the Bill Cosbys of the world and you're locking up the R. Kellys of the world? How do you live with yourself when you got the age of consent under the age of 18 in 40 states? Which means children are having sex. You know how they live with it? Because they justify and feel like it's a hybrid age or a hybrid human being in those 40 states. They feel like the perspective in those 40 states is
Well, humans meet a place where they're not a child. They're not really totally a child. They're kind of like an adult a little bit. Again, there is no hybrid ages are human beings. So now we're going to get to the ages that they think are hybrid ages. Because these people must think that this is a little bit of adult, this is a little bit of a child. So let's permit the community to have sex with these ages of hybrid human beings. So let's get to what the ages are of the hybrid human beings as far as the perspective of America. They think that there are hybrid human beings where you're half adult and you're half child. Well, you got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states. This is an overall perspective. So it's safe to say they're looking at certain children like, we can have sex with you. They're looking at certain children like, you're not really a child. Look how smart you are. Look how intellectual you are. Look at your physique. You're not really a child. This has got to be the perspective. The perspective basically has to be, with the age of consent under 18 in 40 states, that you're not really a child. You're not really a child, are you? Come here, you little thing. You're not really a child. Therefore, you're saying there's hybrid ages. That's what you're saying. Let's look at these hybrid ages there are. Well, they're not, but to them, they are. Those ages are 16 and 17. And I'm going to campaign. This is going to be part of my campaign now. Because this is the revelation. I got a revelation of this. This is a 7 in itself. This is a 7 in itself. This information. There is no hybrid ages of human beings. There's no age where you get to and you almost are you're a child, but then you start getting a little bit of an adult in you. You get a little bit of an adult in you. There's no age where that happens, guys. There's no age where you are part adult, a part child. Like a hybrid strain of marijuana. You got a little bit of lemon kush, you got a little strawberry OG. There's no, you can't, you can do that with marijuana. There's different hybrid strains, right? Ask the pot smokers about the hybrid strains. Yeah, there's many hybrid strains. You got this with this and that, you got, there's a million hybrids, For whatever reason, they like to mix the two. Give you a good buzz. But you can't make a hybrid human being with adult and child. They're either adults or children. So then it's safe to say that if you're messing with a child, you're messing with a child. That's all it is to it, buddy. Boom, ow. That's a 7. Ain't no hybrid ages. Ain't no age where a child becomes part adult. Not even physically speaking. That's a 7. No. You don't start becoming an adult physically until you are an adult, right? You can be tall. You can be tall. You can be big. That's what got them messed up now. Some of them like them small no matter what. They like the fact that they're little, just perverts. See, you bit off more than you can chew, man. You bit off way more than you could chew. All you gang stalkers out here witch hunting people talking about pedophiles, you done bit off way more than you can chew, buddy. What you gonna do now? You gotta eat all that in your mouth. Boom. We're gonna make you eat all of that. You had no business starting it. You should have knew sexuality is not In this day and time, it's not a can of worms you want to open up. That's a 7 album. You don't want to open that can of worms at all. And you can't be serious. All of this stuff going on, and you want to talk about who's doing what. Boy, that was a bad move for you, wasn't it? It proved fatal to your integrity. When we find out you got 44 states with child marriage, boom, ow, that's a 7. Yeah, you like them fresh, don't you? You like them too fresh. You like them smelling like Johnson & Johnson, don't you? Johnson & Johnson baby powder, that's how you like them, don't you? You like them smelling like baby wipes, don't you? Huh? You like your girl smelling like baby wipes. Well, you got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states. Let's go to the ages that they think are hybrid ages where it's kind of it's a child, but it's kind of an adult a little bit. Let's go to these ages. And listen, this is gonna be part of the campaign. This ain't gonna be the last video. This is just the introduction. Because this is what's going to separate the men from the boys and the girls from the women. We sit up here and we play games, and we know in our heart of hearts the facts, which are you have 2 types of categories of human beings, adults and children. You can't say, well, that's an older child. You can have sex with the older child. That's what you're doing. In essence, you are having sex with older children. That's a 7 album. You're having sex with older children. That's the bottom line, buddy. And you can sit up here and try to act like it's cool and you're being innovative. I mean, I don't know what it is. Do they think they're being innovative or culturally innovative? Culturally up to the times? They're the new age. They think they're the new age of sexuality. Well, if this is how you really feel, you're the new age of sexuality, why are you locking everybody else up? Why are you locking all the black guys up? When you got 44 states with child marriage, buddy. I'm not saying, I would never agree with it, but if you thought it was a new age of sexuality, you haven't expressed that with the likes of the people that you're locking up for sexual things concerning children. You haven't expressed these views with them. But you have expressed these views of some type of a perspective that it's all good to mess with older children. This is how we're going to put it too, because I got to say certain words to get you to have the enlightenment that you need to have. If I keep telling you the age of consent is under 18 in 40 states, you're not getting it. And I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence, but some of you don't have the ability to ponder deeper into the reality of what I am saying to you. So God has given more enlightenment, more revelation of this, broken down into little satellites and components so that you can get the proper understanding. There are no hybrid ages of human beings. If you are a child, you will never be an adult. I don't care how sassy you are. I don't care how voluptuous you are. If you are legally a child, you will not be legally an adult until you are 18. So let's go over these ages. I keep saying, let's go over these ages. 16 in America, I'm speaking for America right now. In America, 16 and 17 are the ages that they allow men to have sex with in 40 states. again, 16 years old and 17 years old, these are the very two ages, precisely, specifically here in America, that the American government has found to be acceptable for fully grown men, whether they're 300 pounds, whether they're 500 pounds. They have no problem with 300-pound men plowing into 16 and 17-year-old vagina. They don't have no problem with that. This shows you, and it points out to what I said earlier. A child has the physique in the body. They have the whole makeup of a child. I don't care how they look. They have the physique. They are, in actuality, a child in every sense of the word, in essence. Okay? 16 and 17 are the ages that the American government, not the guy around the way, not the drunk guy, not the old dirty uncle, not the retarded family member, the American government. All these supposed to be competent-minded human beings that you put your life in the hands of, they have found it to be acceptable. In 40 states out of 50 states, what 40 out of 50 states means, right? You know what that means? That's the majority of the country. That's the majority of the country. And they believe by law, and this is not my opinion, I'm not telling you what they believe by my opinion. That's why I told you I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't tell conspiracies. I tell facts. I'm not a whistleblower. I just whistle the truth. How about that part? Al, that's a 7. I'm not a whistleblower. I just whistle the truth. I whistle the truth, buddy. Your American government has found it to be acceptable for 16-year-old vagina and 17-year-old vagina to be penetrated in 40 states in your country. Now, see, here's the problem with that. Here's the major problem with this. Because, see, what y'all want to do is, as soon as I start talking like this, you want to say, well, you don't know what's going on in the countries in the world. Oh, I do now. I know it. I know a pretty good deal of what's going on. That's why I'm going to continue to campaign concerning this very element and dynamic that I'm telling you about. There are no hybrid ages of human beings. There's no age where you could say, well, this is kind of an adult. She's kind of, no. She's kind of still a child. In fact, she's all the way still a child. Not kind of. Yeah, that part. But your American government, men and women that you esteem as more competent and more superior to us all, that make laws that we all live by. We obviously esteem them as more superior and competent than us all, right? Well, do you want to put somebody in office that's dumber than you? Do you put people in politics that is stupid? So guess what that means? You esteem them as more competent. Subconsciously, you might do it. Subconsciously, you feel these people have the answers. They have the right way. They know what they're doing, right? You esteem subconsciously. You do that. You don't subconsciously or even consciously think, "Oh, let me vote for this dumb guy. Let me put this dumb woman in office." Who does that? Who would do that? You think that they know something that you don't know. You think that they're better at this thing called life and figuring it out, or at least governing this thing we call life. You feel like they're better at it than you are. Well, with all the competence that they can muster up, they've decided in 40 states in your country that it's okay. They've decided it. They've sat down and thought about it. I need to get you to realize that. They sat down and thought about this. They didn't just throw it out like a frisbee. Like a frisbee at the pedophile dogs. Here you go. Woo. Here's a frisbee. There you go. You got it. You got it right in your mouth, didn't you? They didn't just throw these laws out like frisbees, guys, at the pedophile dogs of our country. Although it is like they did, though. It is like they threw out the... But it didn't just happen haphazardly, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? They sat down, ate a breakfast. I like to paint this picture. They ate breakfast. They took a shower. They kissed the wife or they kissed the husband. And say, hey, I'm going to pass a law that allows adults to have sex with 16, 17-year-olds in the state. Whatever which one for their state. We're going to pass laws that allow adults to have sex with underage. We think they had to get up. In other words, they had to eat breakfast, get up. Whoever passed the laws had a day before it happened, right? So before they got to the point, the hearings or whatever the process is, they showered, they ate breakfast, they did everything that we do when we start our day, right? Listen to a little music, have some coffee, have some French toast or pancakes, whatever you like. And they went to some government facility and put in law the age of consent for sex under 18. That's what these people that you esteem as competent, more competent than you, that's how they did it. They didn't just astral project, did they? They didn't astral project from home to there and just pass the law and zap back home. What I'm trying to show you is, it's like they have no conscience. They sat down and ate breakfast. They had time to think about this. This is why judgment is so hard, because they had time to ponder these things as competent men, competent like you and I. See, when you're competent, you realize there's two types of human beings: adults and children. Yeah, I'm calling you incompetent if you passed a law to allow adults to have sex with a child, with child vagina attached, you know? A child has a child vagina attached, you know? Yeah, I'm calling you incompetent if you put that into law when you see all this crazy stuff going on in the world. Your whole world community has still not become innovative enough and sophisticated enough and cultured enough to understand the world and the problems in the world as far as sexuality. You still have not become competent in our present day world. Well, you're not competent if people are having sex with children by any stretch of the imagination. How can you be confident in a 2022 world when you still have laws that allows adults to have sex with children? How can you call yourself competent today? I'm not talking about 1882. I'm talking about in 2022. How can you call yourself competent today when when you're locking up R. Kelly, when you locked up Bill Cosby, but you still can call yourself competent and live with yourself with the age of consent under 18 in 40 states, man? You're not competent as you think you are. You're not the superpower you think you are. In many of you surrounding countries, you're not as hot as you thought you was. Jamaica is not as hot as it thought it was. Well, Jamaica is also the one that think there's a hybrid strain of human beings. They got the age of consent down there at 16. Something about 16 to turn these men on, isn't it? I guess it's the sweet 16 part, isn't it? It's the sweet 16 part, isn't it? You tell me. Because I don't know any fully grown masculine men or even feminine by, I don't know any adults that find it pleasurable by fantasy or reality to be with a child. I don't know anyone in my life that's masturbating thinking about children. Now you see where I'm going with this. So you wouldn't like the idea of someone masturbating thinking about children, right? So how do you like the idea of someone sitting around marrying, having sex with children? You got 44 states with child marriage also. You got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states. You're not going to win this battle, guys. You're playing games with yourself. You're not going to win. I've already won. These are the facts. Jamaica is another one. They're another country that think it's okay to have sex with child vagina. I gotta say Jamaica because you know why? A lot of you, especially in the African American community, you think that the Jamaican vibration is pure and righteous. I'm imagining this perspective. I'm imagining this perspective that Americans take, that Jamaica is some righteous and holy culture and vibration of people. Oh, I'm joking? I'm exaggerating. Okay, go look at your culture. Go look at some of these smoke shops and where they got Jamaican stuff everywhere. I'm not trying to be funny. But meanwhile, the age of consent down there in homeland Jamaica is 16 years old, and that is 16 years old vagina. So they're another one. So you got 16 and 17. These are the ages all around the world, but I'm going to stick to America, that you feel is okay to have sex with. Well, let me remind you of something. That is a child's brain. That is a child's vagina. So while you're having sex with that human being, you're bringing feelings of being penetrated to a child. That's a 7. You're bringing feelings to the brain of a child of being penetrated. So if the brain was, let's say the brain was in some type of science lab and you were there having sex with them, you would see the brain waves of a child affected by the fact that you're penetrating their vagina. You are bringing, I don't want to say pleasure, you are bringing sexual feelings of being penetrated to the brain of a child. That is not the brain of an adult. So the punchline is this: anarchy is on the way. Well, do anyone feel the need to obey a law system that think it's okay to lock up Bill Cosby, that was on the Huxtables, the Cosby Show? But then you got 44 states with child marriage in the same country. Anybody feel like obeying a system like that? Anybody feel like obeying a law system that locks up R. Kelly for 30 years? But then you have the age of consent under 18 in 40 states in America right now, presently in 2022. Anybody feel like obeying a law system like that? Where they can lock up with a straight face R. Kelly, but they can look at you with a straight face when you tell them about the age of consent under 18 in 40 states, and they have 44 states of child marriage. Which, by the way, Russia doesn't have child marriage. China doesn't have child marriage. Guess who does? Ding, 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 ding. Right here. Right here in America. Right here in New York City. Right here in New York City. Right here in New York City. This law covers all the boroughs. You got the age of 17. Okay, again, guys, there are no hybrid ages of human beings. You are either an adult or you are a child. So how